Hello students, myself Vishal Pandey, and today we will be continuing our topic which we have taken in the previous video, ideas and ideals of Indian Constitution. Today I will be discussing the directive principle of state policy. As you know that to govern our states throughout the country, we need some laws, some special laws through which we can govern. The writers of the Constitution were well aware of the ruined state of the economy and the fragile nature of India's unity at the time of independence. So, though they wanted to legislate or make laws on subjects like reservation of seats for the scheduled caste, tribes, and women, compulsory education for all children, etc., and etc., so because of that they knew India did not have the resources for it, so they created a set of guidelines which incorporated these ideals. These guidelines were called the directive principles of state policy. So ultimately, to govern the rules and regulations, the directive principle of state policy was launched throughout the constitution in our country. So it will help you a lot to understand it. Let us understand that how education for all, the concept, came into existence. The people, the children, those who are between the age group of 6 to 14, the free education was to be allotted to them, and it was not only free but also compulsory for the children, as it was considered under the fundamental rights. So as a human right it was also introduced. So let us understand what is fundamental rights. The Constitution of India assures its citizens certain fundamental or basic rights. Unlike the directive principles, the fundamental rights are guaranteed by the Constitution and have legal sanction. So fundamental rights provoke you, as you should know your fundamental rights, that what you are up to. And if you talk about the right to equality, all citizens are entitled to equal before the law, because as I told you in my previous videos that equality means that everyone is equal before the law. Any citizens can study what he or she wants to, enter into any institution and take up the profession of his or her choice. You are free to select your profession. No burden should be there. According to Indian Constitution, you have equal right. If you talk about right to freedom, you are free because you can do anything. The Indian Constitution provide you that freedom. The right to freedom includes freedom of speech and expression, freedom to assemble. Assemble means to get together, talk peacefully without arms, freedom to form associations. You can form associations, parties, institution you can open, anything you can do. It is there in the constitution under right to freedom. The right to freedom can be restricted under special conditions. It can be restricted as well. For example, it affects the interest of the country or the security of the state. If because of your freedom some violation are going on and you are making some violation, you are breaking the laws, or you are just targeting the security of the country or the state, the freedom of yours can be taken away. Secondly, though we are free to criticize or comment through the press, we cannot do so without sufficient proof. We are allowed to form associations or clubs so long as they do not indulge in violence, because as you can see that media also has some freedom, and because of that particular freedom they ask tough questions to the politicians and anybody else they desire, they want to speak up. So freedom of expression and freedom of speech is that type of freedom which is to be given to the citizens of this country under right to freedom. So right to equality and right to freedom is very much clear to you now, because right to equality gives equality before the law and right to freedom gives you freedom of expression, freedom of speech, through which you can express yourself before anybody. Let us move towards the right to freedom of religion, because it is very important in the country like India that everyone should have right to freedom of religion, because we are a secular country. So religion can be performed. Every citizen has the freedom to profess, practice or propagate the religion of his or her liking. Which religion do you want, you can perform that. If you are a Hindu, perform, pray your God, Bhagwan, Ishwar. And if you are Muslim, you can go and pray to your Allah. So wherever you want, you can go to pray, and whoever you want to pray, you can pray. Religious groups have the rights to establish institutions for religious and charitable purposes. You are free to open temple, mosque and all. Interest of minorities to be protected. So you are free to open your temple, your mosque, your churches and all. You can express yourself, your religion as well. If you talk about right to cultural and educational rights, what it is, right to cultural. If you want to conserve your culture, you are free to do that. And educational rights is also there according to Indian constitution. India is a pluralistic country, and the constitution has given due recognition to all these differences. What it means that India is a country which has many diversity. So different clothes, different culture, different language, different food, different creed, caste, community, gender, everything. But at the same time, you have to focus upon that we have to follow our culture. And to protect your culture, Indian constitution gives you some freedom as well as educational rights. If you talk about the people belonging to all cultural groups have the right to preserve the practice their language and culture as well. For example, the Bengali Association in Delhi has thousands of members who gather to celebrate Durga Puja each year in the traditional style. People, those who are living in Delhi, suppose they are from Bengal, they have an association, they can perform their Durga Puja every year. They are performing in Delhi regularly every year. So this is the cultural rights. You can preserve your culture anywhere in the state, wherever you are. If you are a North Indian, suppose you are from UP and you are living in Kerala, you can have some association there, and you can play Holi and Diwali there, and you can celebrate Makar Sankranti as well there itself. So these are the freedom rights related to culture and educational right. If you talk about right against exploitation, many a times poverty or ignorance exposes a person to all kinds of humiliation and exploitation. Some peoples are very poor, they are facing humiliation, they are facing poverty. Because of that, they lag behind in their life. So Indian constitution provide that as well, that each and every person cannot be exploited because of their poor and all. So in the next video I will be telling you right to education and all. Till then, watch this video as many time as you can. Thank you very much for listening me.